Hello Radiant Mama and welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me here again today. So I wasn't going to put together a video for you, but I felt like it would be much easier for me to speak to you through a video rather than try to write out what I wanted to talk to you about this week. So I apologise for no new content last week, but as you may or may not have known, I was actually in hospital for over a week. So I got out on Sunday, which is very exciting, very happy to be home. But I am on bed rest, even though at the moment I'm at my dining room table at my computer, but that's okay. It's just our little secret. But yeah, what I really wanted to talk to you today about is the unknown and the crazy stuff that can happen during pregnancy. So this is my story and what's been happening with me over the past 2 weeks. I was definitely thrown a curveball that I did not see coming at all, and it has thrown me through a loop, and it's just completely, I don't even know the word really. I'm kind of lost for words. I'm still trying to I'm coming to terms still with what has been happening and what is happening with me at the moment with my pregnancy. So I've been really quite lucky with my pregnancy. I've been well. Of course, except for the first 12 weeks of just feeling a bit yuck, but that's just to be expected. But the rest of my pregnancy, I've been so lucky. But probably about a month ago, 4 weeks ago, I was feeling, and I'd probably mentioned to you as well, I was feeling just a bit off again, but I thought it was because I was in my 3rd trimester. I heard that you can start to feel a bit blah again, you get tired again, and that's what I thought it was. So I just kept going along, plodding along with what I do and, seeing my clients, running classes, doing stuff online, and just going with it. But then a week before all of this craziness happened to me, I was getting some lightheaded spells. I was just really tired, and I just felt within myself that I needed to just back off a little bit. But again, I felt bad because obviously I work for myself, so I didn't get paid after I've finished work. So as soon as maternity leave started for me, I wasn't getting paid. Me and my hubby were going down to one income. So yeah, that was just a bit of pressure that I think stopped me from actually listening to myself. So the lesson here is always listen to yourself, no matter what is going on in that brain of yours. If you feel the need to stop or slow it right down or go part-time hours at work instead of full-time hours, do it, okay? Because otherwise you don't want to be in a situation like me. So on the 27th of March, which was a Friday, almost 2 weeks ago, my hubby and I went for my routine 32-week ultrasound, which we always look forward to because we get to see our little bub, and it's always exciting. So the ultrasound was going well, Bub's growing nicely, was weighing in about 1.8 kilos, so just growing beautifully, happy as Larry. Moving around and all that sort of stuff, and it was awesome. And then I knew that at the end of the ultrasound I'd have to get an internal ultrasound done because I had been told in my 20-week scan that I had a low-lying placenta, and if that hadn't moved up, that I would not be able to give birth naturally. I would need to have a cesarean, which is something that I do not want, and I did not want, and I was really hoping and praying that my placenta had moved up, and this internal ultrasound showed that it had, so I was very excited. But then the lady said to me, I hope you're not planning on going anywhere soon. And I was like, no, we just got back from a weekend away last weekend, so no, we've got no other trips planned. She goes, good, I need you to be close. And that kind of was like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about, lady? So anyway, she didn't really give much away, but she was kind of implying that I could go into labour anytime from then on, which kind of took me aback a little bit. And then anyway, she finished with the ultrasound, but she got straight onto my obstetrician, which she hadn't done before. And she said that, the baby's weighing in at 1.8 kilos and everything's looking good with the baby, but Kylie's cervix has thinned out and he's only 6 mil. Now, I didn't know what that really meant. I didn't know where the thickness of my cervix should be and all that sort of thing. So I was kind of still a bit confused of what exactly was happening. She then got off the phone to the obstetrician and said, Kylie, you need to go straight over to your obstetrician. Your cervix is only 6 mil and it started to thin out. So they want to put in a plan of attack for you. So at this stage, I started to stress a little bit. I was trying not to freak out. I was trying to control my breathing and doing all that sort of stuff, but I was just like starting to just go a bit numb, like, and I was in a bit of shock. So anyway, me and my hubby went straight to our obstetrician. Our regular obstetrician was actually in theatre, so we saw one of the other ladies in the group. And she was just talking to me, and I was sitting there, and I was kind of just like not with it. I knew what she was saying to me, but I don't think it was sinking in. And then I just burst into tears. I'd been holding in the tears for about half an hour, and they just came out. So she stopped and calmed down and everything like that. And, pretty much what was happening, to make a long story short, I suppose, is that at 32 weeks, which I was at the time, a cervix should be 2 to 3 centimetres, and mine was only 6 mil, so just over half a centimetre. So not great. This kind of meant that baby could come any moment, and so a plan of attack was put into play. I was given a steroid injection pretty much straight away. I was then put on some other medication. They just wanted to get the baby's lungs developed as quickly as possible in case that I did go into labour. That they weren't concerned too much because babies at 32 weeks have a really high survival rate. Like, there's not even really a concern. But they'd obviously need some special care after they were born. But they just wanted to do everything they could to try and hold off me obviously going into labour, and trying to keep bubs in me as long as possible to get the lungs developed and fatten up a little bit. And they don't have the sucking reflex at that age, so all these things. And I was then pretty much told that I had to go on maternity leave straight away. And so all this stuff was getting thrown at me, and I was just like, what is happening? What is going on? And anyway, I then was told that I'd have to go back the next day to get my second steroid injection. And so they explained everything to me, and then we left and went home, and I just burst into tears again when I got home. Had to tell all my clients and all my followers and everything that I was now on maternity leave starting straight away. I had to relax and rest for the rest of my pregnancy, so that was a shock. But then I got a call later that afternoon from my obstetrician telling me that they were contemplating whether to put me straight into hospital or not, because they weren't sure what was going on. And she said that they feared that I was in early stages of labour. And that rocked me as well. I was just like, what is happening today? What is going on? And it was a real kick up the arse from the universe telling me that, Kylie, you need to slow down. You've got no choice now. So anyway, early hours of Saturday morning, I woke up probably around midnight or so, and I started to have mild cramping. It was just very, very mild period pain cramps. And I just thought, I'll just go back to sleep. It's probably just Braxton Hicks contraction or something. And then I woke up again at about 10 to 4, and I still had them. They woke me up. And again, still just very, very mild. And I couldn't really tell, like, there wasn't a specific time. Not that I actually got my phone to time the distance between the contractions. But, I would get this tightening and this cramping, and then it would ease. And then I'm laying there thinking, what do I do? My obstetrician had said if anything changes at all to give her a call, no matter what time of the day or night it is, because we can't muck around. Because, if I go into preterm labour, we need that extra bit of support. So I ended up waking up my hubby, and we discussed, and we ended up calling, and she told me to go straight into the hospital. So I did. And they put me on the monitor, and sure enough, I was in labour with contractions 5 minutes apart. I was just, again, in shock, couldn't believe what was happening. I was getting a bit upset because I thought, no, I'm only 32 weeks, our baby's still too little, just all this stuff going on in my mind. They gave me some medication to stop the labour. It has been known to stop labour, and sure enough, it worked with me, which was awesome. I was then told I'd be in hospital until Monday, so this was Saturday, and I was told I'd be in hospital until Monday until my obstetrician can come in and talk to me about what's going on. So Monday came around, and I was told to stay in hospital longer, and that I would have an ultrasound on Thursday just to recheck my cervix to see where it was at. And so then Thursday came around, I had my ultrasound, and my cervix had thinned again down to 5 mil. So I was told I'd be in hospital for another week, and I'd kind of come to terms at this stage that I would end up being in hospital until I gave birth. That's kind of what I felt. So I actually had a great surprise on Sunday when the on-call obstetrician came in, and I hadn't had anything happen. It had been quiet for the few days. The Monday night previous, labour started again, which they were able to stop again. But yeah, she wasn't too concerned because nothing had happened for quite a few days. So she said to me, I'm going to discharge you, I want you to go home and I want you to rest. Do what you would do in hospital, but do it at home in your own environment. And again, if anything changes at all, to call, and I'd be going in. So tomorrow I'm 34 weeks. Thank God. 2 weeks has passed, which I didn't think I would get through. We were actually it was every 24 hours was a bonus. So now we've got an extra 2 weeks under our belt, which I'm so grateful for. And I'm hoping I can get to at least another week or two. But as my cervix seems to just be thinning as I go, it's very highly unlikely that I will give birth to a full-term baby. But knowing that the whole time I was in hospital, my baby was happy, heart rate was perfect, lots of movement and all that sort of stuff. So there's no stress on my baby, which I'm so grateful and thankful for. But I know that I probably will meet my baby a lot sooner than planned, which is exciting and also a bit scary. But I really just wanted to get across and share my story with you because this came out of nowhere for me, and it just made me realise with pregnancy, you have no idea what's going on. You don't know what your body's doing, and really when you start to feel that niggly voice or sensation that you need to slow down as you start to progress further on in your third trimester, please listen to it. Just start to wind down, start to look after yourself, because you don't want to be chucked into a hospital for a week and told to go on maternity leave straight away and everything's up in the air and you don't know what's going on. So I really, really hope that I suppose my story does help you and makes you realise that it's okay when you start to feel like you need to slow down. And if you're like me and you've got a thinning cervix, there is stuff that can be done to stop labour, help the baby's lungs with the steroid injections and all that sort of stuff. Modern medicine is awesome, and I can't speak highly enough of the hospital that I'm going to. And yeah, I just hope that my bub can hold on a little bit longer. And if I can get to 35 weeks, I'll be doing a big dance because I'll be so excited. But yes, that is my story. That's where I've been for the past 2 weeks. And if you've got a story like me, please share in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Know you are not alone. No matter how smoothly your pregnancy is going, you just don't know what's going to happen towards the end. So yeah, that's a big lesson learnt for me. So thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's a bit of a long one, but I think it's an important one to know that, yeah, you're not alone if this is happening to you as well. I wish you all the best for the rest of the week, and hopefully I will speak to you next week, but we'll see how I go. I'm playing each day as it comes because I have no idea when I'll be back in hospital. So thank you so much for your support and loving words, and I will speak to you again very soon. Thank you so much. Bye for now.